All right, we told you that some of our friends would be stopping by, and this next young lady is a friend of all of yours, I'm sure. A good friend of mine, Alice Kundert. Alice, thanks for coming up and spending some time with us today.
My pleasure.
Alice, you've traveled 130,000 miles this year, more than you ever did for any single political campaign. Your message was the Centennial education. You were in schools all over the place. Linda and I both did a small contribution for Centennial education in terms of traveling around a bit. And everywhere we went, you were there just before us, and we couldn't top a single one of your stories. What went on in those classrooms as you traveled?
Well, I'm trying to make history come alive, so we use human interest stories. We do pride and heritage and roots. And I use a lot of humor with it, too, but don't ever say you folks didn't contribute much. You did.
Well, you're the one that traveled 130 miles, almost 100,000 students.
Oh, it's getting close to 100,000. It's more like maybe 140,000 by the time I'm through as far as miles are concerned. Yeah. No, 300 and something miles.
And you've dealt with kindergarten through high school?
Yes, what I do is I take each classroom at a time. I test the comprehension level, and so each presentation
let's try a little of that right now. Test us. Let's
see.
Share that with them.
You want to go on a mock covered wagon tour? That's what I do with the little children, and of course they're the ones that decide, I mean, they worry about the funniest things like where do the pioneers go to the bathroom if they were out on the prairie. Or we talk, see, I try to give a capsule of South Dakota's history, and I say, who do you suppose was here first? And I get things like Adam and Eve. One little fellow said, God was here first, and I'm not going to argue with him. But they are absolutely fascinating. Ask them about cow chips, and they say, I said, does anybody know what that is? They say, is that like chocolate chips? No, not quite. But our history's coming alive, and they're so excited, and they want to know more about their heritage and their roots and their ancestors, and that's what I want them to do.
Okay.
And I want them to be proud of being South Dakotans.
You bet. Well, our friendship goes back almost 20 years.
Oh, yes, and it's been a real special pleasure.
I'm looking forward to another 20 minimum.
Well, I'll do the best I can, but I'm not sure I'm going to make it.
After the Centennial winds down towards the middle of the month, you're going to turn your efforts to some public service, I understand.
Yes, the first thing I want to do, though, is catalog everything I have and put it into the Heritage Center. We want to preserve this. Then I want to write.
She says the first thing she wants to do is go back to work. You're not going to take a rest. The first thing she's going to do is go back to work right away. That's great, Alice.
I can rest when I die.
You're going to be starting to work for the Great American Smokeout and the South Dakota Lung Association.
Yes.
Starting in November. You'll be the Christmas Seal chairperson for the South Dakota Lung Association. It's going to put you back on the road again. You'll be reminding people about the programs of the South Dakota Lung Association.
Especially the young people. Let's keep them from ever getting into it.
Okay, that's a real good idea. Alice, thank you. Thank you for helping us get into the Centennial in the fashion you have and sharing all your wealth of knowledge with the kids.
And thank you, folks, for what you've done on their behalf.
Thank you. Stay with us just a second as we wrap things up here. All right, we've got some more celebration. I know Alice is going to be staying tuned for this, and she'll be down there on the floor taking part in it. We've got the Centennial rededication coming up at 2:30 our time here and 1:30 West River. The birthday cake cutting ceremony at 3 and 2 respectively, and Centennial Focus later on in the evening. The grand balls. We're going to be here live for 15 hours today. We hope you'll stay with us.